Hello there, friends and kin, and welcome again to the reading of Sundee Service. We're getting a little bit of a break from the unbearable heat wave we've had where I live, which is York, South Carolina. We've been having triple-digit highs, which is really not all that common here, and so when it does happen, it's pretty brutal. And last couple of days, we had some rain come in and grant us a little bit of relief here. So I'm certainly enjoying that. And it's whenever we get that where we have a pretty intense heat wave followed by some rain and a little bit of cooler air, you can almost feel the land give off a sigh of relief. So today's reading for Sundee Service came from the same book as last week. This one is called For Longing. Blessed be the longing that brought you here and quickens your soul with wonder. May you have the courage to listen to the voice of desire that disturbs you when you have settled for something safe. May you have the wisdom to enter generously into your own unease, to discover the new direction your longing wants you to take. May the forms of your belonging in love, creativity, and friendship be equal to the grandeur and the call of your soul. May the one you long for you. May your dreams gradually reveal the destination of your desire. May a secret providence guide your thought and nurture your feeling. May your mind inhabit your life with the sureness with which your body inhabits the world. May your heart never be haunted by ghost structures of old damage. May you come to accept your longing as divine urgency. May you know the urgency with which the divine longs for you. After meditating and reflecting on those thoughts for just a little bit here, it makes me think of times in my life where I felt a drive, a pull to step out of my comfort zone. And it was usually times like this that I would enter some of my worst depressions. That's something I fought with off and on my entire life. But whenever I found myself in that state of depression, where I just, I felt like I was wasting away, I felt like I was decaying. That was always an indicator that I wasn't really living, and that there was some sort of drive, some sort of call, some sort of call that I was not answering, and something that was trying to pull me out of that state of complacency to bring me to new discoveries, to bring me to new experiences, and I was ignoring it. We all strive, I think, most all of us anyway, most all of us folk that have a day job and have bills to pay and families to care for, we strive to live in a state of security. And I think that to a degree that's a very natural human impulse, but it can also be self-destructive. It can rob us of several of the amazing things life has to show us. It deprives us of experiences that give us growth. And so if we find ourselves in that state of depression, of just that state of despair, maybe that's the first place to start. Are we being pulled to something, and are we feeling some sort of drive, or are we feeling, is there something beckoning to us that we're ignoring? because it's not boredom. It feels far more, there's more depth to it than that. And again, whenever I've found myself contemplating this very thing, there typically is something that I am not answering, something that I am ignoring, because I'd much rather have that security in my complacency. And that impulse toward finding security in complacency, I think, gets stronger as we get older. I think it's a lot easier for young people to answer these sorts of calls and impulses because they haven't gotten sucked into the trap of adulthood yet. And it is a trap. You want to be able to give yourself some security and provide for yourself, and again, make sure all the bills are paid and there's food on the table and the lights are still on and the mortgage is paid or the rent's paid. And when you have all that done, throwing something different into the mix kind of, makes your anxiety spike and go, oh man, if I do this, am I going to be able to pay all those bills that need to be paid? And sometimes examining these things can really lead a person to rearrange their lives in ways they never thought they would, depending on where their adventure takes them. But I think the bottom line in all this is to remember that life is very short. Not a single one of us knows when we're going to check out, and that's a topic we covered last week. None of us know how much time we have. It could be tomorrow, could be 10 years from now, could be 20 years from now. We don't know. And when we hesitate to answer these impulses and calls, sometimes I think that I start pondering on the fact that if I were to be greeted by death tomorrow, would I look back on all those calls and all those impulses I ignored, and how many of them would be legitimate regrets? But that's what today's reading made me think about. Looking at things that call to me, that beckon to me, and writing about them in my journal and say, okay, how can I realistically achieve this? How can I answer this call? How can I satisfy this desire, this craving? And I'll tell you how I answered one of them, and that was with the creation of this channel. Because I listen to a lot of content creators, and when I look at all of them, and a lot of them are authors that I have read. There are certain there were times where I wanted to explore a certain idea, or I needed to hear something very specific because of where I was at in life, and I wanted to make the kind of channel that provided the kinds of things that I myself was looking for. And I think that what I was looking for in other people, what I was really doing is beating around the bush of finding what I was looking for in myself. And so that's what I'm going to keep providing here. And it sure is a pleasure to have you along for companionship, and to hear your stories and experiences, and be able to share those moments with you. Thank you for being here. And I hope you have a blessed and wonderful day, and thank you again for joining me for Sundee Service.